Hi guys. Like, subscribe, and comment, and that's pretty much all I have to say. Because today we're talking about the pedos, we're talking about the maps, we're talking about movies centered around them, and yes, I'm talking about the movie Cuties. As everybody on the internet has been saying and doing, I'm gonna link a lot of resources down below since all the videos I watched circle around the same point. This is over sexualization of kids, but also have different objectives and different points since this is a very nuanced topic. And obviously when you're talking about the movie, you want to talk about the people, you want to talk about the outrage, you want to talk about how publications have been going on, and you want to talk about the movie itself. So I'm gonna link different videos that show all of these different perspectives so you can get a wider range if you are interested into this. So let's get started with the movie Cuties. It has been centered about a religious Muslim girl not being able to fit into her religion, so she finds her friends in a dance group. What can you do about this? It's a normal coming of age film if you think about it. No, it isn't. Let me tell you. So we walk into the movie and everything is pretty standard. I mean, we get a glimpse of her religion. I think she stole a necklace, but ultimately that isn't the biggest problem in this movie. She apparently moved into a new school. We never get that clear. The pacing of this movie is so slow that you have time to grasp concepts, but you don't know if you should grasp them. You don't know if this is an important moment. It doesn't present topics in a very clear way, and I don't know how this movie won an award in whatever European festival. But let me tell you, I've been hearing reviews that are like, oh, if you're not European, you wouldn't get this, because obviously it's a bigger problem in Europe than it's in the USA, and we are more sexual and we are more sensual, especially people in France. But let me tell you, I haven't seen an 11-year-old do that, and I have seen here around 13 to 14-year-olds sell aspects for $50. So, yeah, that should play on you nicely. Yeah. So, I got into all of the problems I had with this movie. Since, to what I come to understanding, movies of coming of age films and stuff like this are targeted not towards people that have already came of age, like 20-30-year-olds. No. It's targeted around like young teens, maybe very early 20s, like people around my age. So I'd assume that you teach some hopeful lessons. And before we get into the real pedo shit and the grossest shit ever, timestamp for that, I'ma just list out all the other problems I have with this movie, except the pacing, except the acting, and except the director. Good. So we have Berkeley. Except the Berkeley, which happens once with a phone, then a couple of times in a store, stealing from her mom. A lot of examples of stealing. Jesus, I haven't seen anybody steal this much. Bullying. A very weird sexual conversation about rape had by 4 11-year-old girls. And I was very confused about it. So should you. Fire hazards, as to showing an 11-year-old straightening hair with a ironing board, and I have tried that, and that is a very much a hazard, and your hair does fall off and you get a very bad burn on your neck, God forbid on your face. I got it on my finger. It's bad, and if somebody tries to do that, that's bad, and I know people that would do that, so that's bad. It's bad. 11-year-olds cursing, beating each other up, stabbing a guy with like one of these little thingies that you put on a piece of paper and you twist it and it makes a perfect circle. You use these in school. I don't know. I'm not in school, obviously. Attempts to flirt with older guys and pretending that you're older since they were 11 and they were pretending that they were 14, and I find that very wrong. random bits of nudity shown from like people like 15, 16, 17, something like that. I can't place where the other girls were because nobody ever tells us their age, alleged age, anyways. But yeah, it's like because they're in a dance competition and they see their rival dancers, one of the girls shows straight up her boob, and it's like right there exposed to 11-year-olds. And I don't have a problem with that. What I haven't been seeing is people talking about how these girls are going to move into the world. Since they were in the movie, they were directed to a lot of different issues, except blowing on a condom and eating soap, which also happens. Uh, what I haven't been seeing that much discussed, except the things that I just talked about, is the psychological damage that you're doing to these girls by showing all of these things. The last scene, obviously, if you have been on Twitter, is the worst scene since ends the scene that circles mostly around and is the last scene of the movie basically, and the dance competition. They're twerking, they're so sexual, they're zooming on their genitalia and their butts, and it's gross. It's gross. There's no other way to say that it's gross. It just is. It's uncomfortable. I took several breaks. I felt like I was watching child pornography, and it looked like something I shouldn't be watching, but I'm watching on Netflix. From what I understood, it's banned in a lot of places, but I found it on Netflix this morning, so that should say something. Um, yeah, the main character takes a picture of her vagina and posts it online to escape her uncle. And yeah, that should be a thing. Apparently. They twerk in front of bodyguards to get out of trouble, and they did, since they were in like some zone that they shouldn't have been. So they twerked their way out of it. Have in mind, these are 11-year-old girls. There were 700 girls that auditioned for this. And that doesn't strike something to you? That doesn't strike something to you? I don't know what will strike something to you, because what is the psyche of these girls? These girls are 11 years old. They're very impressionable. And you're going to put them in this movie, which I wouldn't approve my kid to be in a movie like this. You put them in this movie, and then you let them out in the real world. And then after you let them out in the real world, what will happen is pretty much, oh, well, that worked in the movie, why can't I do it now? That was a on real life based story. I could do that. I could work my way out of this. If I show my tits, if I show my ass, if I show my vagina, I will get out of anything, and I wouldn't have to be in conversations with men. Since it was mostly with men, these issues were presented of extreme nudity were presented in front of men. And personally, I don't think men are pigs or men are monsters, but also you need to figure out that not everybody is safe, and if you're in a situation that you want to escape, the twerking or showing your vagina or showing anything isn't well. I'm not talking only because these girls are going to face such a horrible thing. I'm pretty sure they have social medias as their child actors. This movie went viral, so that would boost their careers, at least that. But what is the attention that they're going to get from the pedophiles? It's absolutely gross, and they're going to live on with the over sexualization, and that will potentially scar them for life. And nobody thought of this while making this movie, and obviously it will scar them for life. I'm pretty sure that right now somebody's in their social media, if they have social media, I haven't looked for it because I'm not a creep, is like, you have a sexy ass, or you're so fucking hot, or something like this to an 11-year-old, and that's not okay. The person making this movie is a convicted child molester. The fuck you mean that you're going to make me think that this is okay? This is not okay, and this movie shouldn't be up on Netflix. I watched it with my own eyes, and I wanted to throw up. I destroyed my morning for y'all. This was a gross movie. This was a really gross movie. I regret watching this movie, and I don't say that about a lot of movies. I've said this maybe around like 2 or 3 movies. They're actually gross, like nasty movies, you know? I hated it. Gives me a sense of discomfort that the Human Centipede will give you. And it's targeted towards pedophiles. And I I have been hearing the argument that pedophiles are more present now than they used to be. No! Pedophiles feel accepted because they show their faces on Twitter, they show their faces on Instagram, they show their faces everywhere, and I've talked about this before. Nobody seems to listen, that we are just making them feel more comfortable. Since the left-wing media was targeting this as a movie embracing kids' sexuality. Kids and sexuality shouldn't be in the same sentence. And having in fact that the media is trying to place this as, if you're anti-pedophiles and if you're anti-sexualization of kids, you're right wing and you're a conservative and you're a fucking Nazi, is absolutely ridiculous. Because if it's supposed to be on political sides right now that you disagree with pedophiles, I will turn into fucking Adolf Hitler if that will make me against pedophiles. Fuck it. This is a joke. I want a premise. This is a joke. I don't know what to say. I'll be Donald Trump if I have to stay away from pedos. It's not nice. It's really nice having been an 11-year-old girl and people having tried to sexualize me. It doesn't feel nice, nor is it something nice. And anybody trying to overly sexualize a kid is a pervert, and it's just not nice. Not only is it not nice, it's mental. And electric chair much? Go die. Basically, is my takeaway on that. I don't think other people's takeaway is probably better commentary than I have. And if you're that much of a perv, they'll include the poster and some clips. I will not do it just because I don't want to see any more of the footage, nor do I want to sit down and edit this way too much. So like, subscribe, comment, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow with a travel vlog, because that's the best thing to follow up this video. Bye guys.